Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rourke Woods Community Center. My name is Adam Stanley, and today's date is March 28th, 2015. Today you're going to hear about a special topic to me, and it is the dangers of social media and social networking. I feel that we should have legislation for children regarding social networking. Our youth has become very vulnerable to the dangers of social media. There are situations of cyberbullying, stalking, internet predators out there. So I want you to take a look at this photo. It's a nice young girl. She's pretty. She's 15 years old. Well, a couple years ago, in California, she was found hanging in a bathroom at her mother's house, September 10th, 2012. She had been sexually abused at a booze-fueled party. There were pictures taken of her, and they were posted on Facebook. A couple weeks went by, she couldn't take it no more. She killed herself. Cyberbullying and internet safety is a widespread problem that must be addressed in our society. Children that are tormented on social media is totally unacceptable. And there needs to be steps implemented to deal with this. And we need to educate and deter this type of behavior. I'm going to talk to you about, over the next few minutes, you're going to hear a couple of objectives that I'm trying to sell you. Social networking is a serious problem, and it is perpetuated by the lack of empathy and education. There are successful programs out there that we can implement. We need to recognize ways to aid in the social media frenzy. And there are benefits of actually aggressively combating cyberbullying and internet strangers. Well, first things first is we need to examine what social media actually is and why there needs to be an age restriction on social networking sites. Most of you in here are used to what social media is. Raise your hand if you have any one of these accounts. If you have your own Facebook account, Twitter, MySpace, Snapchat, majority of the room. Well, what is social networking? I'm going to tell you the definition, what Merriam-Webster defines. Social media as forms of electronic communication through which users create online communities to share information, ideas, personal messages, and even such things as videos. Well, let's talk about Facebook. According to an article that I found on CNN.com, Consumer Reports did a little bit of research. And would you believe that 7.5 million kids under the age of 13 in 2011 had a Facebook account in America. Facebook says you have to be, does anyone know how old? 13. 13 is the age bracket that you're supposed to. But there is, just because they have it in place, there's no law that law enforcement officers or anybody can enforce. And that's what I'm trying to change your minds today, is we need some type of law in order to make these age restrictions valid. Social media can hurt teens. Teenagers can spend up to 3,400 times texting back and forth throughout a month. Kids today are spending more time on social media than they are with their average families. And this, once again, is according to what Consumer Reports found. And this was back in 2011 is where this data is coming from. It's 2015 now. Imagine how the numbers have increased. Children are routinely posting and sharing private and personal information. Their opinions are going out there, and they don't fully understand the consequences. Teens are turning to self-harm. There was one instance that I showed you earlier with Audrey Pott, she was 15. She was legal, according to Facebook's policies, that she could have an account. She was 15. Think of the other ones. I was reading, when I was doing the research, The Guardian. Is anybody familiar with the Guardian, the newspaper called The Guardian? It's from the United Kingdom. They did an article back in 2013, in August, that at least 5 teenagers had committed suicide through abuse on social media. Why are these kids doing this? Are they being bullied, tormented? In North Carolina, we have a law called cyberbullying. And cyberbullying, if you cyberbully somebody, they're receiving some type of torment, some type of torture through social media. Yes, that is a law. But we don't really have any other firepower out there other than that when dealing with social media. Children feel as if they do not fit in society if they can't fit in online. We see that our youth is very vulnerable to the dangers of social media. Today, I want to suggest to you some ways to remedy these dangers. We need rescuing from the dangers of social media. First and foremost, we've got to have some type of state law. We have to have legislation in place, and we have to have age restrictions. That can only come from our government. Where are the parents? Parents need to be more involved. The majority of this room raised their hand when they said they had when I asked, did you have a social media account, such as Facebook? Majority of the room raised their hand. Well, think about the children. Think about how many, we talked about 7.5 million American kids, and that was from 2011. Those numbers, I'm sure, are higher than that by now. Our school system, we need to talk to our Board of Education members, our principals. Our school system needs to implement a program for education and awareness on the dangers of social media. That has to happen. Now, we need to get with our local law enforcement agencies that work in conjunction with our school districts. There are programs out there that we can utilize, such as DARE, GREAT, and iKeepSafe.org. So what are the benefits of having these laws in place regarding social media? That's not me up there, by the way. Having laws in place will give power to authorities in order to punish those who will commit these acts. According to Michael Fallon of Infowars.com, the state of Illinois, and I found this highly interesting, the state of Illinois passed a law that students suspected of cyberbullying could face criminal charges if they refuse to reveal their passwords to school administrators. Now, I found that very interesting. We just have to have stuff in place. In conclusion, check the time. Cyberbullying on social media, along with other dangers, is just, it's just a growing concern. This behavior is totally unacceptable, and it is affecting our children. I'm going to ask you for a call to action. I need you to contact your local legislator's office so we can have something in place. We need some type of action to reflect on 21st century realities, ladies and gentlemen. We need to maximize the opportunities and minimize the dangers to our children. I want to be able to give them a safe, healthy childhood, and so they can enjoy their adolescence. We need age restrictions on social media sites. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope you have a blessed day.